Hi, everyone. This is April 15, 9:59 a.m. And we have some news we'd like to announce. So I encourage you to go onto YouTube channel. And if you search Community CPA, you'll find all of our videos there. So this video will be posted right away as soon as I finish. The content we have here is to announce that SBA had already released the draft form for you to apply for Restaurant Revitalization Fund, RRF. And this is the one that many of you restaurant owners are waiting for. So you want to see this form right now. And it looks like it will get approved really fast. Normally, most of those governmental forms take 60 days to get approved, but SBA already requested a speedy approval process from OMB. So hopefully that 60-day doesn't exist. And here are a couple of things I want to mention to you. And in the form, and let me share my screen right now with you, and you see the YouTube channel, but this is the form. Now you see the form number is 3172. Okay, and I will go through the form with you because I want you to know that it is easy to do. You can do it. And so you can prepare all the information that needed for you to fill out this form. So the first item is a business legal name. You know what your legal name is, right? And doing business as name. And if you are ABC company, but you're doing business as ABC Catering, and that is your DBA name. Business address, they want the address and the tax ID number, you have it. See, here is the ACH information, folks. Just in case you want to change bank account or whatever happened, make sure that you put in the bank name, routing number, account number, and what type of the account that it is, because this is where the RRF fund will be deposited to. So important. Then the next thing you know, it is the owner information. Of course, this should match to your tax return. If you have 3 owners on the tax return, they need to be on here. See, you want the owner's ID number. Did you see that? They actually listed social security number, IT number. What does that mean? That means it is okay if you have IT number. So go ahead, fill in that number and the percentage ownership, your address, not your restaurant address, your home address. So there's owner 234 and applicant's form of organization. So that means what type of organization you are. So if you are filing Schedule C, you are sole proprietor. If you're filing partnership and you have the partnership checkbox, if you are a LLC and you can check the LLC and the C Corp, S Corp, so please make sure you check your entity that should agree with your tax return, tax form, okay? Now, the applicants must review and respond to all of the following questions. So those questions are kind of the question to qualifying you. So are you a state governmental operated business? Say no. And as of March 13, 2020, owns or operates more than 20 locations? Say no if you don't. Has pending application for or has received shattered venue operator grants. So this one, if you have a pending application, you also need to say yes. You cannot say that I didn't get it, so I'm going to say no. So you better not to apply both together because that could be causing complications. Is the public traded company? If not, you say no. Public traded means your shares is on the stock market and people can buy your share. I don't think you are if you're listening to my webinar. So just make sure you say no. Which of the following best describe the applicant's business? So you know if you're a restaurant, food stand, caterer, and what? And go down the list and check one of them. And you have to check one of them, otherwise you're not eligible because they only fund those people, right? And is the applicant's business permanent closed? And the yes is then the applicant is not eligible if you closed it, okay? And is the applicant currently in bankruptcy? and say no, you're eligible. Yes, if you're currently in bankruptcy operating under a approved plan of reorganization, what that means is that some people file bankruptcy is not Chapter 7. So they don't really close the business, they just reorganize their loan terms and the debt. So that way the applicant is eligible. But if you file a Chapter 7, or you just completely, like here, you just write off your debt and you're closing your business, then you're not eligible, okay? Did the applicant receive the first draw of PPP? You know whether you did or not. If you did, you want to put in the number and see, look, they're asking for SBA PPP loan number. That is not the number you got from the bank, folks. So you need to know that number. If you say, well, I don't know that number, call right now, right? Call right now. Today is Thursday. You have Thursday, Friday to work with your bank. And did the applicant receive second draw pay PPP loan? And you say yes or no. If you say yes, look, SBA PPP loan number. How many of you know that loan number? I tell you that you don't know. You need to find out because that's what they needed. And does the applicant have an affiliate? And affiliate just means that if you are organized under the same entity with other organization, or if you belong to a large group, and yes or no. And if yes, how many affiliates does the applicant have? And please list each affiliate's legal business name. So I hope you don't go into complications like that and you just simply check no. And what date did you begin making sales? So that's a date that you need to put on. So if you began a long time ago, and you can put a long time ago, but if you are just open or anything, so that they become important. Calculating funds. So these are straightforward numbers, just like what we predicted. You need to know 2019 gross receipts. So a $, you put that in there. Under 2020 gross receipt, this is from your tax return, see? Report it on your tax return. Do not include any amount received for PPP and other funds. So basically, all the government grants you don't include, you just include the receipts you're actually getting. And they're saying that as reported or to be reported on your 2020 federal tax return. What does that mean? That means that your tax return don't need to be finalized, and you just need to know what that would be. So make sure that you know that number, and that number will be on your 2020 tax return. Now, number 3. So you want to enter the total PPP dollars, because then you will add 2 and 3. So they want you to add the PPP, then to get into the dollar that what you are the real loss would that be. So basically this is just calculation that you will get. And I know this one doesn't have any formulas in there, but once you get your real form online, it should really calculate for you. You put in these 2 numbers and the number 3, it will calculate all the way for you. So that will get you the funding amount. So let's say if your 2019 is 1 million, your 2020 is 400,000, your PPP is 400,000. Then you will be 1 million minus 400,000 minus 400,000 and equals to 200,000. So that will be your number. That's why in here it is adding the number up. The 2 and the 3 are actually the sales in 2020 plus the PPP you got. They want to add those 2 numbers together to compare to 2019 to get into your number. So here's also calculation but if you operated 2019 full year, you're pretty much done. And this section of calculation is for businesses that began operation partially through 2019. And it is a process of calculating average 2019 compared to average 2020. Not complicated, straightforward. So that's what you need to do. And here there is another set of calculation. Read it. For applicants that began operation on or between January the 1st, 2020 and March 10th, 2021. And for applicants that have not yet opened, but as of March 11, 2021, have incurred eligible expenses. Folks, this is the piece that I did not talk a lot in the previous because it wasn't really clearly stated. So now it came up. So let's just kind of look at what they're looking for. So let's say you open up a business in February of 2020. So they want you to enter the amount you spent on eligible expenses. Eligible expenses have the same definition as eligible uses of fund. So then they ask you the amount. Eligible use of fund is on the bottom. So we will see that later. Enter all gross receipts as of applicant signature date. So let's say you sign it today. So they want to ask you what's your receipts. Do not include any of those PPP. So maybe that's a 0 or maybe it's a whatever amount. Enter total amount of PPP. So you enter a amount. They will add 2 and 3 together and subtract line 4 from line 1. So basically, they want to know what you received in while you're operating and also what your PPP is and subtract your total eligible, all of the money you spent because you just started, right? So then give you a number. So subtract 4 from 1, they give you a number. Enter the number of locations. You have 1 location. Those are all not important, but that number we entered in, that would be what the funding you're getting. Very generous calculation, really had small business people like us in mind, not complicated, folks, and you really should be able to do it. Purpose of Restaurant Revitalization Fund. So the purpose of Restaurant Revitalization Fund, and select all of that, apply, and you're gonna say payroll expense, rent. These are eligible expenses. Remember in here, they're saying that it's the same, eligible expenses the same as eligible use of fund. So these are use of fund. So you can look at this, knows that almost everything is eligible. And priority in awarding restaurant revitalization fund. So number 1 is 1 or more women owned, veterans owned, and socially and economically disadvantaged individual. Let me break that down. What is socially disadvantaged? Socially disadvantaged are Black Americans, Hispanic Americans, Native Americans, Asian Pacific Americans, subcontinent Asian Americans. Economically disadvantaged are people with net worth less than 250,000. Got it? And obviously you can always go back to listen to what I say, but that is the definition. So you will come as a priority. And for all applicants, they want you to check boxes on here. This application completed, initialed, and signed, complete. Those are all need to be, you need to check this one because they want to verify your real tax filing and all of these ones. So these are all things you need to sign. Look, your name, position, and demographic information, and you sign and submit online. So this will be on the portal, folks. That's all I want to give you today. And I really want to focus on the possibility it will coming on Monday. And we tell you that if you can do it yourself, absolutely do it yourself. And our client, we will be calling you. And if you didn't get our calls, and I encourage you to call us, because between you and us, we need to know that whether you like us to do it for you or you do it yourself, because I don't want misunderstanding between me and our client. And then we forgot to, we thought you doing it, you don't do it. And then we didn't do it for you. So that is something we do not want to see happen. So whoever calls our firm, if you want us to do it, you need to make it really clear you want us to do it. Obviously, we have a we provide service and we charge a fee, but we don't want you to to forget that you can do it yourself. You can also rely on SBDC and centers to see whether they can help you for free, and any other nonprofit organization. And don't be shy and ask for help. And of course, in the end, if you really run out of the situation, nobody can help you, and that Community CPA is always there. We have professionals, we're here and helping people. So hopefully, and our number in our phone number, the main phone number is 515-288-3188, and you can always get hold of us and by checking on our website. And also make sure you look at YouTube and learn more. Okay, be responsible for your own action, right? And hopefully you get funding right away.